Earlier this year, I went to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Walt Disney World, and it was pretty awesome looking back on the whole experience. I came back from that vacation and made a review where I discussed my thoughts on the land as a whole as well as the 2 rides. Now I'm here much later than I was hoping with part 2 of my Galaxy's Edge review, where I'm going to show you all some of the super cool merchandise that you can get at Galaxy's Edge. And I just want to say, these videos in particular take me a lot of time to make, so I would really appreciate it if you could go ahead, do me a solid, and go and hit that subscribe button for me. Anyways, here's part 2. So first up, probably not the most exciting thing in this entire video, but here we got this lanyard that I got while I was there at Walt Disney World. And my sister actually helped me set up most of this, and a lot of the pins that you can see here were actually gifted to me a little prior to my visit, and some of which I did not include in this lanyard, so here they are off to the side. While I was there, I also got this pin from The Mandalorian, along with this pin that says Ahsoka Lives, which I also thought was pretty cool. Within Blackspire Outpost, there are various shops scattered around, and at the Resistance Outpost, which is kind of on the outskirts of the town, that's where I got this jacket, which I am absolutely in love with. Super high quality, super comfortable, definitely does nail that in-universe look, and this might just be one of my favorite things that I bought while I was there. When I pair this up with my pilot helmet, it just feels right, and it really does complete the look in my opinion. One of my sisters got this patch set and this Resistance insignia keychain. At the First Order shop in the middle of town, although there were a bunch of other cool things in there, all I got was this code cylinder pin, which I kinda regret buying. In the Blackspire Marketplace, there are a bunch of little shops, but I wasn't able to get that much footage while I was there. I got a pair of Han Solo's Corellian spike dice, this Blackspire keychain, along with this cool and much heavier one based on Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. My sister got this pin as well. On a separate note, one cool thing about this place is that even the drinks are made to look like they're in Star Wars. Besides the Star Warsified sodas and water bottles at Oga's Cantina, there are also a bunch of themed drinks exclusive to that location, which I really enjoyed trying. The interior in there is also just super cool, and there's even a DJ. Now getting into the big spends of this video, coming in at around $100 US, we have this custom droid, which I built at the Droid Depot in Blackspire Outpost. I personally chose to build a BB unit, but there is also the option to build an R-Series droid instead. As you can see here, I gave my droid a blue body with a white head on top. There are also loads of customization options to add onto your droid once you finish, especially if you chose an R-Series droid. I chose to keep it simple with my BB unit and just got a Resistance personality chip, which I will now demonstrate. Another cool thing about these personality chips is that if you actually have your droid with you in Galaxy's Edge, it will react with certain things in the land depending on what personality chip it has, which in my opinion, I thought was pretty cool. As for the remote controls on the 2 droid types, the BB units is less than adequate in my opinion. It wobbles a lot on hard surfaces especially, but on a carpet, for example, you do have just a little bit more control and stability, although this is an incredibly wobbly droid due to the weight of its internal chassis. On that note, the R-Series performs a lot better in this category. On a separate note, I also chose to give my droid a name, which is TB5. Something interesting that happened while he was actually being shipped back here is that his head got damaged in transit. So thankfully I was able to get that replaced, and as part of the replacement, I also got an extra body. Now, as for my final verdict on the droids at Galaxy's Edge, while their size and weight isn't exactly accurate to the Star Wars canon, I still think that they're pretty cool, but I wouldn't consider the droid building experience a must for first-time visitors. Besides the rides, if you're a Star Wars fan at Galaxy's Edge, even if you only get one thing while you're there, lightsabers are an absolute must in my opinion. Whether you buy a legacy lightsaber from Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities, or you get to build your own inside Savvy's workshop, these are well worth the money, especially if you're like me and practice your saber lightsaber skills often. Legacy lightsabers and Doc Ondars are based on the famous blades from the Star Wars canon, and there are more gradually being added to the range of selections. When I got there, I was dead set on either getting a pair of the white or brand new color-changing Ahsoka Tano lightsabers. But when I got there, they were just completely gone. So I'm hoping the next chance I get to go to Galaxy's Edge, hopefully I can pick up either one of the two pairs. Instead, I settled for the Youngling Slayer 9000, wielded by none other than the Chosen One himself, Anakin Skywalker. But over there, it's more properly labeled as Rey's lightsaber. All the legacy lightsabers from Doc Ondars come in their own little box just like this, with their own symbol on the front as well. Prices of the legacy lightsabers range from $130 to $200 US. Meanwhile, the custom hand-built lightsabers are $220 plus tax, but do keep in mind that it's also a part of an experience. The experience of building a lightsaber at Galaxy's Edge was definitely one of the highlights of my time there. You have to get to the park pretty early once you get your reservation, and once you're there, Black Spire Outpost is a lot less crowded than it would be much later in the day. While you wait for the rest of your group to arrive, you get to choose what your lightsaber will be used for, and you're presented with different parts depending on what you chose, along with an exclusive pin. The parts for my Peace and Justice lightsaber come from salvaged scraps of fallen Jedi temples and crashed starships in these Republic-era designs made to honor the galaxy's former guardians. Inside Savvy's workshop, a group called the Gatherers have collected pieces of scrap metal from across the galaxy used in building the sabers. And the lightsaber building experience is truly unique when compared to the other immersive attractions at Galaxy's Edge. In my opinion, it's somewhat similar to a Star Wars VR experience in that you can interact and observe, but the fact that it's all real, well, mostly, that's what made it really stand out for me as a fan, making it that much more magical. There's truly no greater feeling than building and then igniting your lightsaber for the very first time. The cherry on top was getting to hear Master Yoda's Force Ghost speak over your group at the very end of the experience. Yet again, I sadly wasn't able to get that much footage during these events. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention the plethora of lightsaber accessories you can get at Galaxy's Edge, and most of them can be found within Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities. As part of the saber building experience, I got a standard lightsaber sheath, a 31-inch blade. In the shop, I decided to pick up an additional white and yellow kyber crystal. This blue kyber crystal right here came with my saber. I got a slightly better sheath with better materials that can hold multiple kyber crystals and has some Arabesh on the side that translates to Force User, which I thought was pretty cool. This super cool stand to display my lightsaber, and lastly, I got a 36-inch blade, which is their longest available size. Probably the strangest out of these lightsaber accessories, in my opinion, is the belt clip. Even after I've had these lightsabers for a pretty good bit now, I'm still super impressed by how quickly and easily you're able to connect and disconnect the blades from the saber. Pro tip, if you're having any sort of random glitches happening with your lightsaber, I highly recommend that you change out the batteries. For the legacy lightsabers, you screw off the pommel cap on the bottom, and from there will be a piece that you can pull out to access and replace your AA batteries. For the custom sabers, it's pretty much the same process, except you'll need a tiny screwdriver like the one I have right here to get to those AAA batteries. Lastly, I just want to say that I think Disney did a really good job with the lightsabers at Galaxy's Edge. Each one has a certain weight to it and feels and looks like a real prop. You're definitely not paying for some cheap toy here. And I'm especially curious to see what the next evolution of lightsabers are going to be like on the new Galactic Star Cruiser. Well, I think that's everything I have to say and show. I hope you all enjoyed watching, and if you did, I would really appreciate it if you could drop a like on this video down below, and remember to subscribe with notifications on if you're new and you don't want to miss a new video. Be sure to also share your thoughts in the comments down below, and let me know if you want to see more Galaxy's Edge videos here on the channel. We also recently passed 60 members over on my Discord server, so if you want to go ahead and check that out for yourself, there will be a link in the description below. Anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for me here. Hope to catch you all in the next one. Remember that this is ZonaFan signing off, and of course, we'll be with you always.